Welcome to Investigating Homelessness in Shoshone County. I'm Barbara Patterson, and today I want to talk to you about why do we even have homelessness issues and poverty issues in one of the richest countries in the world. Does that even make sense to any of you guys? So when we go back through our history, we see some good, beautiful stuff, and we also have a lot of tragedy in our history. And one of the tragedies is that we disregarded the homeless, like it was their fault for being homeless, their fault for being poverty, their fault for having a mental illness, their fault, their fault, their fault. And why is that? Why do we want to put people on a ladder? Why don't we want to raise everybody up so we all have the benefits to enjoy a beautiful society? We weren't born here to be in a debt, poverty-ridden society. I know this society works for some. It works for some quite well. And I believe that they kind of want to keep us that way because they're not really sharing, Oh, they throw out some money here and there, but they're not really sharing. So we have poverty issues, and anyway, the system's not working anymore. If you haven't noticed, it's collapsing. The coronavirus, on its dark side, we know what it is, but on the bright side, it could be doing more than you believe. It has the potential to create a new society based where we all have the right to enjoy our lives the way we want to fulfill our lives, not through struggle and debt. Also, the coronavirus, in a very weird, indirect way, I believe, affects us that we're going to realize that we are all one. We're all connected. We can't ignore each other anymore. We can't say we're not. We can't keep killing people. We can't. So this is how it is. So the people who can afford the best medical care possible, that's great. But you still have to interact with those who cannot. And not only that, if you're on poverty and raised in poverty, we have issues. And I know you can say, well, I don't. I got out of it. And some of us have a stronger mind and a different way of being raised. But when you're raised in poverty, surrounded by dysfunctional and neurotic families, it tends to create that in our subconscious level, which comes out as crazy anxiety, depression, bipolar. It even comes out in the physical plane as cancer, heart attacks. Oh, I don't know. The list can go on. So we have a very much dysfunction in our society. Really, no one doesn't feel this burden, not too many people. But when we have a system set up where we can't, and we discard the poverty, by not giving them the proper tools, but just saying, here, take this pill, it's obviously not helping, right? We still have a system that's not helping. If anything, it's just creating more of the system. It keeps us there. So yeah, it looks like we're doing something. We have Idaho housing, and we have low rent, and we have food stamps. But is it enough? Or does the whole system have to change? This is the beauty of what's going on right now. It looks like we are so close to the whole system changing. And if that's the case, then we can lead the way of how we want to create a system. Free energy's out there. Tulsa didn't create free energy. He already knew it existed. We just need to to start implementing it and take back what's rightfully ours. And what's rightfully ours is to live by God's grace. It's to live in beauty. It's to live your life not being controlled by others through taxation and debt. Okay, so you can say we created our own debt. But how many presidents that I hear say, go out and buy stuff, right? It's still being said. Go out and buy stuff. Go back to school. You need it. It's in our society. It's in our blood. We're born with it. It's been in our society for so long, we just don't recognize it. It's time to start recognizing that there's something bigger out there. You were born with it. You know it in your hearts. I hope this touches you all, because homelessness, poverty, illnessness should not exist. And when the WHO organization, right, the World Health Organization, WHO, says, at least when I was writing my book in 2013, it said 90 or 95% of us in the whole world is sick with something. That's like crazy. So I am hoping that you think about this. And as each new tomorrow comes along, think about it. Think about how the coronavirus is going to level us out. Think about how it can create a better society. Don't think about the fear. Think about how we are all one. And one can't have better health care and better nutrition than the other, because now you can see how that's going to affect us. Someone who has low vibration, has a low immunity system, that someone has a higher chance, a higher risk of contacting the virus. We didn't treat everyone well. We treated them like, well, this is your fault. Well, is it? Maybe. Is it, Bill? When we had better systems already in place? Whose fault is it? It's really no one's fault. We didn't understand. We were born into it, raised into it for hundreds of years. I don't even know, probably thousands of years. We've been in this system of all of us wanting to be one up over someone else. We're all the same. And when we look back at our history, we're going to be sickened. I mean, sickened that we felt that it was okay to have bottom feeders in our society. And it's not, homelessness isn't bottom feeders. It's just how I feel some of us look at them. That we had poverty because they just didn't rise above to their level or their potential. But they weren't given the chance. Most of us aren't given the chance. Most of us are beaten up by society. We work for people. They make a ton of money off us. What do we get in return? Their blessings that we have a job? I know a lot of you feel this way. I just want you to think about it. It's time to change. It's time to break this mold and create a better life for all of us, not just the homeless, but for all of us. It's time. It's time for us to unite. It's time to leave the judgment. It's time to leave the hate or whatever. It's just time. It's time to embrace the new. It's coming. It's coming. All right. Satnam, you guys. Take care.